welcome back everybody to another episode of Mighty number 9. We're going to go after another Mighty. Which one? I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm kind of deciding this as I go. The last level wasn't too bad. It was difficult. So it kind of gives me an idea of what exactly I'm in for. Okay, so she's no longer in the power plant. Okay, so there's the 8. Let's go after this guy. Let's go after the air, because there's probably going to be a ton of instant death, bottomless pits all over the place. Television broadcast capabilities. Oh, tower, yeah. We're going to have to be dealing with a whole bunch of bottomless drops. So we'll see you on the other side. So I was right. This level has a lot of instant death, but compared to the previous level, it really isn't that hard. It's actually easier, I think, than the Mighty number 3's level, but then again, that just might be me getting better at the game and how Beck moves. Now, you're going to have to use the space dash or the accelerate dash a lot in this stage, just to even make jumps, because the normal jump ain't going to cut it. You're going to have to dash midair. Oh, and these enemies. These enemies are probably the worst ones in the entire level. They can block off a lot of areas, and it's very hard to hit them when they have their shields close to them. They throw their shields at you, and that's when you need to get in close and strike. Avi is definitely full of himself, that's for sure. So yeah, they use these little shield hovering enemies very well. They're placed in one of the worst locations. Ah, see that little TV blimp? That comes into play later. And now we get the wind mechanic, which you will have to deal with for the rest of the stage. Right now it's not too annoying, because there's really no bottomless pits or spikes or any instant death issues to deal with. But that's going to change right about now. Granted, this is just a little taste of what's to come. Now, if you want an easy extra life, just keep climbing up the wall here. And there's your extra life, and you can go right back onto the ladder. I don't see why you wouldn't do it any other way. And there's that blimp that we saw earlier. This is actually the battle space for the mini-boss. Mighty number 3 did not have a mini-boss, but 6 definitely does for his level. And this guy's actually really easy. You gotta give it like about 3 to 4 seconds and then slide underneath him. And every time he'll fire straight at the ground. If you hang off towards the sides, it gets much harder to dodge his shots. And that's pretty much all there is to the first phase of this battle. There's 3 total. If you're going for like good combos and everything, or no-hit runs, this is probably where it's going to get you. Because maintaining your combo count for these 3 things, just based on the up and down movement of the helicopter, it's going to be pretty hard to maintain your point values. So that was the trickiest part of the whole mini-boss. This isn't too bad as long as you know how to manipulate his firing. There's a set interval where he fires. And if you linger on one side over the other side, he'll actually fire off in the other direction. But if not, he'll actually turn around to face you. That's it. For a mini-boss, he was actually really easy. When I first played him, I actually had a lot of... I had a harder time than what you saw me there. Oh yeah, and Avi just harasses you throughout the whole level. Where Mighty number 3 was all about power and the feel of it, Avi's all about the news coverage and how to make sensational news. Even if it means the death of the people he's broadcasting on, or reporting on, whatever. And Call sounds positively just bored. Like she would rather be anywhere other than in this game. She's like, I didn't really want to be in this game, but Inafune made me, so I'm here. What do you want? Now this next part of the stage, or the last half, the latter half of the stage, goes a little bit slower than the first half, just because the wind element. That was a deviously placed little shield enemy there. I don't even know what I don't know what any of these enemies are called. I don't even think they have names. They're just probably just robot designators. Like BD Alpha 1324 or something crazy like that. And this is where the wind is going to get you in trouble, because below is spikes, okay, or instant death stuff, so let's not do that. Now we get to the part of the level where the wind and bottomless pits become a huge factor. And why did that... Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, I'm like totally messing up right now. You usually get 100% combo rates on those two enemies. Not this, but the next couple moving platform jumps are some of the trickiest in the level. These two right here, just because they move up and down like that, you can sometimes fall below. Thankfully, there's platforms and ledges below you that you can latch onto so you don't completely fall into the bottomless pit. I can never be fast enough to get that guy before he does that. Off to the left there, behind that Sniper Joe enemy, oh gosh, is big energy. So if you're low on health, you might want to go try and nab it. Okay, most people like to want to drop off ladders. Don't do that here. You have a nasty surprise at the bottom. Once you reach this point, take heart, you're almost to the end. It's actually not that hard from here on out. Now you got to deal with wind going straight up. You got to factor that into account whenever you do your jumps. You can actually jump a lot higher now. I wonder why they didn't do wall climbing. That would have been a nice addition. And that extra life there, so not worth it. Don't even bother. And that's the stage. Amazingly easier compared to Mighty Number 3's stage. I don't even know why. It's vastly easier by comparison, at least in my opinion. Now Avi, okay, Avi, he is something else. The real danger is not from him himself. He's actually an easier boss to fight and dodge most of his attacks than Mighty Number 3 Dynatron. The real danger actually comes from the pit, the bottomless pit on the left and right sides of the main tower right there. That is where most of my deaths came about, was because of overshooting my dash. And the cell count 30,000, I hope this doesn't pull a Mega Man X5, and each successive boss gets more and more health until the very end in the rematches everybody has like oodles of health. It's stupid. So this is the phase of the battle where you really get most of your hits in. Oh gosh, see, one little hit really knocks you back far and gives you... makes your heart skip a beat. Okay, at first it seems most of us... Oh wow, how did I even jump through that? So most of attacks are pretty dodgeable once you know what he's doing. So yeah, you want to make him turn purple when he's doing that. Oh gosh. When he's swooping down back and forth like that, because it's easier to slide or dash back onto the main platform in the center. For the longest time I didn't know what that other thing was that I was shooting off the screen, but it's actually the video camera. And when he pops up, you always want to jump behind him, because he's always facing towards your current position. And then if he's off to the sides, you want to be in the middle, so those platforms block his shots. You always want to be on the opposite side of where that... oh god! Of where that video camera is. And despite initial appearances, his bombing volleys are not random. What he does on the first volley will dictate what his second volley does. And I think he has like 4 or 5 pattern volleys. So if you memorize all 4 or 5 of them, you'll know what he'll do for the second pass. I just haven't memorized it fully. So yeah, with the exception of one extra attack, this is pretty much all he does. As long as you keep this pattern up, he isn't a bad boss. Then he does the machine gun fire. And this is actually part of his... oh, whoa. This is part of his one-hit kill attack. I don't know if Dynatron had one, but Aviator definitely has a one-hit kill attack, and that's when he swoops in at you from that machine gun attack. So being in the center platform is always the safest place to kind of figure out what he's going to do next. And then based on where he or his camera appears, you just move as necessary. So it's appearing on the right, I'll go to the left. So you want to start on the right side or the left side and kind of move your way back over to the left. See, and that's how you avoid it. You go from the far left to the right or vice versa based on where he is, and you'll avoid his one-hit kill attack. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to dodge that. Come on. Ah, he's so close. Woo! Oh man, he's not too bad. It's the layout of his battle arena that makes it, you know, pretty bad. He isn't too difficult himself.
Mission clear.
So how'd I do? Wow, that was the longer stage than I thought. Not absorption average, not bad. But I still got a C. I'm still average. Not a good Mighty number 9 player. How do you get points on kills and combos? I keep getting zeros or something. I'm sure there's point values attached to it, but seriously. Okay, so we can fly now? Can we fly at will? I have no idea. Reselection, Aviator. Okay, so 2 down, 6 to go. Let's look at the tips. Reselection, Aviator. Okay, so it's greater jump height and slower descent speed, and block attacks from above. Huh. I could see that being a downside for one propeller at a time. Okay, cool. Nice movement capabilities for that one. So overall, between the 2 levels, I'm actually liking this game so far. I mean, granted it doesn't live up to the hype, but on its own merits, it's actually a fun and challenging game once you get used to the mechanics and the overall enemy layout and how each of the levels and bosses work. So I'm liking it so far for what it is. I don't know what I'm going to be tackling next. I'm thinking either number 2 or number 1, but we'll find out in the next video. Until then, everybody, see you later. Okay, so this first outtake was just me being dumb and trying to figure out what was underneath here, and I found out the hard way what exactly was at the bottom there. Then the rest of these stage outtakes is me just getting to a certain part of the stage with not enough health to survive a hit, in that instance, or spectacularly missing a jump here and trying my best to get back up to a ledge, to no avail. The rest of the outtakes were for the boss himself, but he actually didn't kill me. For me, I just totally jumped straight into the pit there. It's all about that stupid pit. If it weren't for the bottomless pit in this battle, Avi would be a whole lot easier to face. And I think that's kind of the whole reason why he's up here in the air. Yep, overshooting it with that dash. And then the one time he actually killed me was his one-hit kill. And I had no idea it was coming. I was like, what? I'm dead? How'd that happen?